All right, guys, what I'm working on today is a beautiful 1984 300 SD. This car has, let's see, 111,000 miles on it. It was owned by an old lady in Texas. You can still smell her perfume in the car, but this thing is really in excellent condition. And I want to show you guys something that I haven't shown on videos before. So, you can remove these climate control units and look for any cold solder points and resolder all the solder points if these are acting up. But what a lot of guys don't know about is under the dash right here. See this plug right here? That is connected to the Bosch temperature regulator. Anyway, that's the Bosch temperature regulator, and this interacts with the climate control system to make everything work. And I just sent this off to one of my guys that resolders and replaces capacitors, resistors, diodes, I mean, you name it. He rebuilds circuit boards. So I had this, I sent this off to him, and he did a fresh rebuild. All new electrolytics and components on here, and I'm going to go ahead and install it back in the car. It's pretty easy. You see there you go, back in the back there's like a slot, and then there's a bolt hole. So this actually goes back in here, and the back of it goes in that slot. See if I can get it up here. There you go. The back slips in to the slot, and then you just run a nut right through there. So let me go ahead and put that in, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's back in there. All right, I don't have it fully tightened. You can see I just started the bolt right there. It's like an 8mm, but I had it plugged back in. But yeah, to get this out, you have to remove, this is the under dash, basically where your knees go, like that, right? And you pull this down, and you disconnect 000-830-6108. You disconnect that. Here's the plug right here that plugs in right there, and then you can remove this piece, and there you go. You pull that piece down right there, and you can get access to that temperature regulator. So I just had that rebuilt just to ensure that the climate control system in this car is absolutely flawless. I usually also remove these and re-hit the solder points. But again, this is a fantastic car. The other thing I'm doing on it is changing the passenger rear window regulator. See, I have the door panel off there. Look at the condition of the door panel. It's fantastic. But for some reason, it's always the passenger rear. Here, there's pollen on it, but look at that chrome. Look how good condition this car is. For some reason, it's always the passenger rear regulator that goes. It's always the rear passenger window. I don't know what's up with that window, but on just about every car, this is always the problem window. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble, put all this back together. Let me show you guys this car while we... And this car came out of Texas. Now, keep in mind, I haven't washed this. It's been in the shop. It's on the lift. You know, stuff falls from the rafters on it, so it's very dusty. But this is a fantastic condition vehicle. So this will be up on the site pretty soon. I haven't done much work on it because I took the dogs up to the vet in this car the other day just to check it out, you know, after picking it up. and everything ran and drove fine. So I'm just doing some little, basically regular maintenance on the vehicle. I want to do the temperature regulator, climate control, recharge the AC, change the primer pump, change filters, oil, transmission, you know, all the stuff that can be problematic, lubricate all the window tracks, and replace this regulator in the rear door. Actually, the motor works. I think it's that little plastic clip that slides in the channel. That broke on here, so I have to grab another plastic clip. But not much I have to do to this car. It looks like she chose to have that factory Mercedes. You know, the dealer would install these things. And there's no rust on this car. This is not hiding any rust at all. So, I don't know. I might remove those. A lot of guys really hate those. I don't like them either. But they actually look pretty decent on this car. Yeah, they actually look pretty good on this car. So, I might leave them. And this is original paint, you guys. I mean, it's fantastic condition. Again, it's spring here, so there's pollen on everything. Even in the shop. I don't know how it gets in here too. But just to show you the condition, one thing you can tell on cars, watch the door straps. See how stiff that door strap is? That's a good sign of how the car was treated. I know that sounds crazy, but you can tell by the condition of the door straps. Because people that, you know, sling their door open and kick it open with their foot, and you know, people that are rough with their cars, those door straps get weak. And when people treat the cars really, really well and open the doors nice and slowly, and when they treat the cars well, those door straps aren't worn out when you get the car. I know that sounds maybe kind of strange, but that's a good way to see how a car was treated. And the wood paneling in here is all really, really nice. Even all the gauges, look how bright all the dials are. The dash is absolutely flawless. I'm going to put in the factory original radio. It's in the trunk. Look at that. Look at the wood down there. Not a crack in it. And the seats, these are the, you know, MB Techs. And they still have tons of spring. They're not all worn out. See, there's barely any pedal wear. And these are the cars I really like to pick up. It looks like they put the spare on there because in the trunk I found a flat tire, and that has the little dot right there. Yeah, there's another sign of how well the cars were treated. See the seat back nets? Perfectly taut. No one has ever sat back here and pulled on this seat back net. So yeah, that's the door I'm replacing that in. Look at the package tray. This is a really, really nice condition car with 111,000 miles on it. Another thing I look for, see the strikers? Those little pieces aren't worn off on the strikers, so the doors shut nice. Not even on the driver's side on this car. That's fantastic. This is a 1984 model, but watch how the door shuts. Normally you have to replace those little pieces, but yeah, I'm gonna clean this car up nice, go through it, do a full service on it. And you guys will see it for sale soon. Love the German license plate there. I'll probably leave that on there. Another way you can tell how the condition of cars. Now, this car was driven 111,000 miles, so you have a couple rock chips. I'll hit those with some touch-up paint. But there's no chips, no cracks in this headlight bezel. See the gaskets over here too? See the condition of the gasket? You can tell it was never in the sun. It sat in a garage. That gasket is really, really good condition. It's little stuff like that that you look for to tell the condition of a vehicle. Look at this one. Again, the car was driven, so it has a little rock chip from driving the vehicle, but those will get touch up. But see, these are plastic. These always, deteriorate, get cracking, get cloudy. This was in fantastic condition because it was probably only driven maybe locally and not on the interstate, so nothing was flying up here and hitting it. I'm not sure. And it was probably just stored inside. Some cars are nicer than others. Little stuff like this I look for too. See the window wiper right here, this little rubber piece? There's not a single crack in it. I look at the rear view mirrors. See all this rubber in here? Sorry, the side mirrors. See? See how soft it is? There's no sun damage. That's really how you tell a nice car. All these little things. Because on cars that, are ragged out, all that stuff is worn out. Also look at gaskets. Now, that's normal. The gaskets shrink and most cars have a little split right there. It doesn't affect anything at all. But you'll see that on 90% of the cars. But what you look for is the condition of the rubber. Let's see, get it to focus here. There you go. See how soft the rubber is? It's not damaged by UV and sunlight. Same with the dash. You'll normally get cracks up here by the speaker or up here at the top of the vents. None of that is on this car. So this is a really, really nice example of a 300 SD champagne with Palomino seats. All the padding is good. Look at the condition of those seats. Again, I can smell the old lady's perfume in here. Let's walk around back. I got distracted showing you guys the car and didn't finish my job here. Let's put that back in the floorboard. Back here, you look at bumpers. Again, I'm wiping all this pollen off the car because it's springtime in Georgia. But see how nice the bumper is? Hadn't been bumped into or backed into in parking lots. Again, gaskets around the lights. There's not even soot back here where the diesel emblem or the 300 SD. Normally this is all black and covered in soot, even in between the letters. So that tells me someone was cleaning the car regularly and really taking care of it. That is amazing. The fact that this little grommet is still on the car, that pretty much guarantees that the car was never parked outside and it was always in a garage, because that is the first thing to rot and go on these cars. It's almost never still there. On the earlier models, it was a chrome piece. 83, 84, 85, it was this rubber grommet. That's still the original grommet in place there. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this temperature regulator back in there, and then I'll start doing some service and show all the videos on this car. Alright, so we have everything back together, and it's important when you put this back in, you want to get your little plastic screw here. That's the one you push in and then turn 90 degrees or 180 degrees to get it to lock. And then you also want to make sure you get the screw down here. This holds, there you go. This holds the bottom of the panel tight. And then you want your plastic cover. You got to put it all back in there right. And then there's one more screw right there. And that almost is like a little sheet metal screw or wood screw that Mercedes put in there. And that's how you get that back together in there. And then you have three that go across here. So that is super secure. A lot of cars, you see this flopping around down here where they haven't put the screws back in correctly. But that's how you do it. So that's restored the temperature regulator. Anyway, guys, just wanted to show that little obscure thing that nobody ever shows on the internet. All right, guys, I just took the champagne gold Palomino interior 84-300 SD over to the AC shop, my buddy Kelly and Stan, and they did a expansion valve, compressor, dryer, and converted to R134, and this AC system works fantastic. It is actually, it's too cold. It's not very hot in Georgia yet, but yeah, this works great. So AC system has been taken care of, and what I did is fixed the, I don't know, in the earlier video I think I showed how I had the rear passenger window disassembled because a little plastic clip that slides in the window track had broken, and now very nice. For some reason it's always those rear passenger windows, that's like 80% of the time that's the one that fails. Anyway, so next what I want to do on this car is put back in the original radio. Most of these cars were, you know, converted in the late 90s when CDs, you know, were prevalent and CD players were put in the cars. So and then what else is there left to do on this? Oh, then we're going to get it up on the lift. We'll go through the suspension, check everything out. I just drove it 5 miles. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be much left. We'll detail the car, of course, and then this one's going to be on the website for sale, so stay tuned. We'll have some more videos coming.